when I'm talking or one of us. So I don't know.
Oh, we're live. You're good.
Hey, welcome to the inaugural Golf News RI Golf Dudes on Golf News show here on the Coalition Radio Network. I'm Joe Calabro, a co-founder of Golf News RI, and that is Rich Capali, the other co-founder of Golf News RI. This is the first time we've actually been on air together, so we actually both do exist and we actually do know each other. Just in case there was any confusion on that. Rich, how you doing today?
Not too bad. Not too bad. What's going on with you?
Now, 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 you, sir, were supposed to play golf with me today, but you actually wanted to make some money instead of losing money to me on the golf course, and you bailed. So thank you for that. I sat on my butt the entire day,
Well,
and
yeah. Well, I was a dummy and read my work schedule wrong. I had my golf gear on, and I got a text message asking where the hell I was. So yeah, that's fun.
good work, good work. So here we are, first annual show. Eventually, it's going to be a full time thing, but Pat couldn't make it tonight. He has a family medical issue, and obviously we hope all is well with him. We love Pat. I love Pat. So we hope all is well with him. But here we are for the next half hour or so, talking about golf, some BS as usual, and so here we go. A big week. Rich, I know you were anxious to get to this, so we'll start. We'll start at the top with the big news item of the week, which was your boy Peter Costas responded to our tweet, responded to us on Twitter on was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. I think it was Monday.
I think it was.
And so
Yeah, I
anyway,
think it was Monday.
I think it was Monday. All the days kind of blend into one during this pandemic. So I believe it was Monday though. So anyways, so basically what happened was we watched the Charity Skins game on Sunday between Rory McIlroy and Dustin Johnson, and they took on Ricky Fowler and Matt Wolff, and over at Seminole Country Club down in Florida. Obviously, Rory ended up winning with DJ, and so basically, Peter Costas, formerly of CBS, he got fired from CBS back in October, I believe,
Well,
and somewhat unfortunate.
he didn't get
Sorry, go
fired.
ahead.
He didn't get fired. He didn't get fired. His contract was not renewed.
His contract was not renewed, which is splitting hairs, really, but so his contract was not renewed.
You gotta say it the right way.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying the Red Sox didn't fire Alex Cora, but anyway, that's for another podcast another time. So Peter Costas goes on Twitter during the show, and he tweets that the most entertaining part of the show is the text message that he was getting from his friends and DMs he was getting from his friends. And so I thought it was interesting that a big name, a golf analyst, a well-respected golf analyst, was blasting the charity event. And I'm not saying he was necessarily wrong. That I had my issues with it that I wrote about for the next day. My five takeaways from the Charity Skins game. So I'm not necessarily saying it was wrong. I just thought it was interesting that he was kind of blasting the event. He's a big name guy, big name analyst. So I put the story up and tweeted it out the next day, and then he actually responded to it. I couldn't believe that he responded to it, but he did, saying that he wasn't blasting the event. And so I put up his response, and it kind of got a big reaction on Twitter. And there we were. Peter Costas responded to us. I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was funny. I like Peter Costas. I don't have a problem with him. I miss him on CBS. He was the only one that really asked questions, real questions of the golfers. But I thought that whole situation was funny. I remember I got a text from you that later that night, and you're like, "Oh my God, we got we got blasted by Peter Costas." I know you thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, so I got a couple not issues, but I want to say a couple things about it. So CBS has had a history of well, especially with their golf coverage. They got rid of McCord, Gary McCord. They got rid of Peter Costas, and they got rid of our boy David Faraday. So I don't know how I'm not trying to stick up for him with the whole response to the story, but it he's got to think about a different way of how it looks, how it comes off. You know what I mean? That just comes off him being super salty about not having a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some of the reaction that he was getting. But I mean, he's been critical of CBS and other broadcasts in the past. So I mean, he kind of got. I mean, like you said, he's kind of was renewed. From what I've read about it, he's been on several other podcasts, like big time podcasts, like No Laying Up. I don't know if he was on Foreplay or not, but he might have been. And he's he's talked about how he kind of
No, I don't think he was on.
got the short end of the, well, whatever it was. He kind of got the short end of the stick when it comes to his job at CBS. So I mean, it is what it is. I like Peter Costa. I just thought it was funny that he responded. And personally, on kind of an editorial note, I didn't think his response really. I don't think his response was really to the about what he tweeted. His response was about how, so you were tweeting about your friends texting you, and then he was saying, "Oh, I was just the betting one." He was saying, "I was just asking people what they thought of the final hole." I said, "No, you were asking bettors what they thought of the final hole. You weren't just tweeting out to your people. Because then it's not a story.
Yeah.
You were asking bettors, which is two different things." So I just thought his response was,
Yeah,
I appreciate him responding, and we published his response, but I didn't think his response was really. He wasn't answering for the tweets. He was just kind of making something up in a way.
Yeah, so like I said, he's got to, in that situation, you just got to you got to think about what you tweet before you tweet it, because like I said, it just has him coming off sounding super salty about not having a job. And it's technically, he doesn't have a job because CBS, well, the golf guys at CBS, they thought that he's like old man golf. You know what I mean? They're trying to spice up the broadcast and stuff like that. On a different note, like that I thought they made a huge mistake by getting rid of all three of those guys, Faraday, Costas, and McCord, because I thought they made a great team. But now now Faraday's over with NBC, and he's got a great gig over there with like Brandel and all those guys, and the show obviously on Golf Channel.
For sure, for sure. So that was the big news item of the week. Some other news items that we got to this week. Actually, one quick thing that I do want to point out, because I've updated the story. This morning we posted that Harbor Lights in Warwick, the 9-hole course, that they were opening for takeout and for outdoor dining tomorrow. They have since posted an update today, and our story on the site is updated. I might reshare it on Facebook tonight. Today they posted that outdoor dining is not going to open until next week, as they're still revamping their parking lot and getting things ready. So tomorrow night is just opening for takeout and for DoorDash. I guess they're on DoorDash. So I just wanted to make that note real quick. That again, our story is updated on the site, and so they updated it They updated their Facebook post this afternoon, and so I made a quick edit. So just a quick note on that. And the other two big stories that went big this week, as far as page views, which is what I obviously look at, is Agawam Hunt and Warwick Country Club. So Agawam Hunt was first, and so we'll just start with Agawam. I know we have a video to play over it, courtesy of their website. Earlier this week, Agawam announced that they are having a 3-month trial membership for new members. And they didn't really give a whole bunch of details, as me and you talked about off air. Oh, even nice music.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
They're having a 3-month trial membership. So, and you can be a member by, within a couple of weeks of signing up for it. So we gave them some publicity. Agawam, I don't know if you ever played Agawam. I've played it, I think, once or twice maybe. I think I played it in a father-son tournament a bunch of years ago with my dad.
I never. I never played Agawam. They're always on Golf Now for random tee times, like early tee times, like Saturday, Sunday mornings, during the week, early tee times. It's usually fairly reasonable too. It's only like $60, I think, on Golf Now with the reservation. I've heard pretty decent stuff about it. It used to be super, super, super private back in the day. Like I'm talking like no females allowed. No, it's strictly a men's club. They got their own little locker room upstairs and stuff like that. That's since been passed, but it was one of the premier golf clubs in the state of Rhode Island back in the day.
Right, you must have read my notes. So that's literally what I wrote down. That back in the day it was super private. It was really an exclusive club in the state. And then a couple years ago, they went into bankruptcy, and they had all kinds of financial troubles, like all the clubs have had. And now uh, they seem to be on the rebuild, and so now they have this 3 month trial membership. That's pretty cool, and I think a lot of people are excited about that. The other one, that one that exploded yesterday, was Warwick Country Club. They're having a new member incentive program that they're just introducing, and so that story went up big. One quick note: people are asking us on Facebook and me personally what exactly the new incentives are. I've reached out to a few people, and people who know about the situation have told me that the new program is very good, that the incentives are real, and they're trying to get younger members. They're trying to get younger, basically what I was told. It's very hard to get details from private clubs, and that's their right. They don't put their stuff on Facebook. They don't put their prices on their website. And again, that's their right. But I was told by people close to the situation that know that the incentive program is very good, and that it's for real. It's real incentives, and they're trying to get younger. So Warwick is a beautiful golf course, right on the water. If you can just get past the wind, you'll enjoy yourself, basically.
Oh yeah, I drove by there 2 weeks ago, and I texted you, Joe, and the golf course is in mint condition. It is so green. Obviously, it's just from sight. I haven't played there at all yet. So I'm might actually inquire myself about what's going on over there. Maybe we can have
Yeah, there you go.
a Kirkbrave versus Warwick Country Club battle going on between me and you.
Yeah, I have to reach out to my guy, who's now who's the defending club champion at Warwick Country Club, Mr. Joe Hassett, the former PC great. He's a big time golfer. Last year, he won
Oh,
the
there
club
you go.
championship at Warwick.
Big time name drop.
He's my guy from my previous sports reporting life. So I'll have to reach out to him and see what the deal is. But yeah, Joe Hassett's the defending club champion there. So maybe we'll get an interview with him once we officially launch the Golf News RI show. So those are some of the bigger news. Those are some of the bigger news things. Other quick news and notes. The Riga earlier this week, again, all these days kind of blend into one, so I don't remember what day it was. But we had the story up quickly. The Rhode Island amateur qualifiers have been rescheduled. They are as follows, and again, this is all on our website, so you don't have to remember this. But June 15th in Cranston, June 17th at Green Valley, and June 22nd at Fenner Hill are the rescheduled Rhode Island amateur qualifiers. And it looks like the Rhode Island amateur, from what I'm told and what I've read, is scheduled to go on as scheduled for now. So those are good news. That's good news. Always an exciting time of year with the state amateur and the tournament taking place. And our goal here at Golf News RI is to bring as much coverage of that as possible, whether it's live streaming a match or writing previews and stuff like that, whatever it might be, a podcast, whatever it is. Hopefully, our goal here is to bring you coverage of that when the actual state am takes place this year. Any thoughts on the state am? You looking forward to it? You want to go try to qualify?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
The way I played with you last week, I couldn't qualify for a kid's chip and putt.
neither could I, but it'd be fun to try and shoot 102. So
no, I didn't, Joe.
I
didn't. You didn't send me your notes, but I wanted to make another thing. Buttonhole is now open.
Say whatever you want.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
right.
sure. I'm not sure if I didn't see your notes. So Buttonhole is now open. Obviously, during this time, all social distancing and all that stuff. That all pertains to the opening of everywhere pretty much as it becomes open. But yeah, Buttonhole is now open. I don't believe there are carts available. I think they're only available for ADA, which is handicapped people with the placards. But yeah, driving range is open. The par threes are open. The putting greens are open. Yeah, so you can get your practice on.
Yes, that actually was in my notes. It was down in the other news and notes section that happened earlier this week. We have an article up on Golf News RI. Buttonhole is opened. Obviously, they had the coronavirus stuff, but they also had that fire back in mid-March. Remember that? They had the offices caught on fire, the Riga offices.
The pictures were insane.
Yeah, the pictures on our Facebook page, courtesy of Riga Facebook. And so they also had that fire to recover from as well. So I don't know what was more of a delay. If it was the coronavirus stuff, obviously they're in Providence, so they were like Triggs, they had to close. But I don't know if the coronavirus stuff delayed them more than the fire. I'm not sure which one had a bigger impact just from an opening perspective. But they also had the fire to recover from, and I'm not sure what the status of their building is. I haven't been there. I know you go there. You go there more than I do. But I'm not sure what the status of their building is, but at least their buttonhole's open.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm trying to remember the article that was on their Facebook page. I think a portion of the building's open just to pay, but obviously the Riga part of the building's not open. I'm not sure the extent of the damage that was to the actual buttonhole offices where you go get the range balls and you can visit the pro shop and stuff like that. But I'm sure they have something to grab your bucket and pay for your fees.
Yeah, so that's the good news. Thanks for bringing that up, because I would have forgotten about that. That was earlier this week that they announced their opening. And I think you're right. There's no carts. I didn't know there ever were carts at Buttonhole. I always walked every time I used to play that little 9-hole course. I always just walked and carry my bag. I never really even thought about taking a cart, but I guess they have them. I guess they have to have them for, like you said, older people and stuff. But I think there are no carts, and I'm not sure about the pull cart situation. I'm imagining you can use your own pull cart if you have one of those.
Oh yeah.
So those are some. Yeah. So those are some of the news and notes. That's basically everything. As far as what I want to cover, this is a big weekend. Memorial Day weekend, everyone's going to be out playing. Clubs are reopening for dining out and stuff like that. I know Kirkbride is opening for outdoor dining. I'm not sure what the King's Crossing situation is. I know you remember at King's Crossing. I don't know if you can speak to that at all, but I know this is a big weekend for local golf and Memorial Day, and it should be it's supposed to be beautiful out. Tomorrow's going to be 80. I think Saturday's going to be like 70, but chance of rain, but that's all right. And then obviously Sunday and Monday. So a big weekend for golf here in Rhode Island. I don't know what's your playing schedule this week.
Well, yeah, I got to work. I got to work tomorrow and Saturday, but Sunday I'll be definitely down at the King. Their dining situation is pretty good. We got the kitchen's open. Obviously, going. It's like grab and go. We have a bunch of tables set up outside, socially distanced, obviously. Got a bunch of chairs around the fire pit outside and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good way to have a couple beers and some food after the round. I will be playing on Sunday. I unfortunately have to work the other 3 days, 4 days. I'm sorry, 3 days, 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Monday. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but hey.
Hey, at least you're making money and not losing it to me. So that's good, right? So about 10 minutes left of the show. We're going to go till 8 o'clock in our inaugural Golf News RI Live. In the future, our goal when we actually launch the show and kind of plan for it, like I said earlier, like I said off the top, Pat was unable to make it tonight due to a family medical issue, and obviously we hope all is well with him. So it's kind of an impromptu show. Eventually, we're going to be able to get guests on. We're going to have local pros come on, guys from the Burke Fund, who I would do a lot of work with, and people from different clubs, people from Riga, New England PGA, all kinds of stuff. We'll have a whole show set up for you. Today is kind of like a warm up, but thanks to everyone for tuning in. So last couple of minutes, Rich. I know you're a big fan like me. Let's talk some pro golf. All right, let's give the people what they want.
Okay, I've been waiting for this.
Tiger Woods 10 minutes. So this Sunday, as most people know, we'll have a preview up on it on Saturday. That's my plan anyway. We'll see how the rest of the night and tomorrow goes. But anyway, the plan is we'll have a preview up on it. 5 things to watch for the match between Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning, and they're taking on Phil Mickelson and the guy that used to be everyone's boy, Tom Brady. Now everybody dislikes Tom Brady here in New England. So that will be that Sunday. I believe it's 3:00. I could be wrong on the time, but I think it's 3:00 on TNT. And I think the
Yeah, 3
pregame show
o'clock on
starts at
TNT.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 3:00 on TNT. I was pretty certain, but you never know with these times. So they're at Medalist Golf Club in Florida, which is Tiger's home course. So right off the top here, what are your thoughts as someone who watches pro golf almost more than I do? Well, probably more than I do. I watch a lot, but you watch a ton. What are your thoughts on this match? Opening thoughts on the match? Go.
So shout out to the Foreplay boys from Barstool. They actually broke this. I found out they said that the commentators for the match are going to be Amanda Balionis from CBS and actually Justin Thomas. They're actually going to walk behind the foursome. Those are going to be the two live commentators. So that's going to be cool. I like Amanda. She does great interviews on CBS after the guys hit the 18th green. I don't know with last week's showing as far as like the live golf, no fans, Sunday bags, all of that. Um, my whole take on this match coming up is I just hope it's not fake. Like a lot of the banter last week was fake, very forced. I just hope that the attention is paid to the golf and the banter second because we have a tendency to hype up the whole Tiger versus Phil smack talk and the Peyton versus Tom smack talk. They came out with that video. What was it, 2 weeks ago? And all the smack talking was very very forced, and that's not. I think that's very fake and phony. But I just I just hope it's competitive. Like the alternate shot is going to be fascinating. What do you think, Joe?
Right. I think the alternate shot will be interesting. I personally hate alternate shot, as you know. Me and my dad have to play it every year in the father son tournament, and I hate it. And I mean, it's interesting if you have two good players, right? Like Ryder Cup, it's interesting, things like that. But it's like one bad shot, and then that leads to like 5 more bad shots, and then all of a sudden you have an 8 on a par 3. you know. But
Oh yeah,
not that these
yep.
guys are going to do that. Not that these guys are going to do that necessarily, but you know what I mean. So alternate shot will be interesting. I think what's going to be interesting is the 5th hole. They're only going to be allowed to use one club for the entire hole. It's the one club challenge. I know in that Japan. Remember that Japan skins game? I don't even remember what it was. It was over the. Was last fall? It was over the winter. Remember we stayed up late watching it with Rory, Tiger, Jason
Oh yeah,
Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
Yep.
guess they had a one
Hideki
club challenge in
Matsuyama.
that.
Yep.
Right, he was the other guy. I guess they had a one club challenge in that tournament or that event. And I read today in researching that Tiger used a 4-iron. I think they said he used a 4-iron in that match.
I mean, yeah, that
So
makes
it'd be interesting to see. God.
yeah, that makes sense because it's got the flattest face on it, so you can use it like a putter.
So that's what I'm interested in. What club they're going to use. I don't know what club I would use. For me, I'd probably hit a 7-iron just because I'm comfortable hitting it. But it'll be interesting what club they use, what club Manning and Brady use. I think the key will be, who wins between Brady and Manning, right? It's going to come down to Brady and Manning because Tiger and Phil more or less cancel each other out. And so who's going to be a better player, Manning or Brady? Manning, I guess, is a single-digit handicap, they said. And I also read that they're each getting
Dude,
Brady and Manning are each getting 3 shots.
I watched videos about I watched videos on Peyton Manning. He's a stick. He was pulling off some amazing shots from like hazards and behind trees and stuff like that, putting him inside like 10 feet. I know Brady threw the quip in that Peyton's had a lot more practice since he's retired, but Brady's no slouch either. He played in the Pebble Beach Pro Am a bunch of times, and it's tough to play out there. And he was sticking it close with all the pros.
Yeah, so that's Sunday, 3:00. So like I said, we'll have a preview up on Saturday morning, five things to watch for, and then I'll have a story up right after the match ends, and then depending on how it goes, I might do a 5 takeaways analysis for Monday morning. So we'll have complete coverage for medalist, the champions for Charity event Sunday afternoon, and then golf season starts on June 11th for the PGA Tour anyway. and so we'll have that to look forward to, and we'll have a bunch of content to preview that and get everyone ready for the return of the PGA Tour. Some interesting developments today with guys overseas not wanting to come over or not going to come over. I think Adam Scott said he was going to skip the first, like, what was the number, 5 or 6 events or something like
6.
that.
I think it was 6. Yeah. Lee Westwood also said he's not going to play in the first 4. I think.
Right. I think the same with Tommy Fleetwood, right? Tommy Fleetwood was doing the same things. They're all overseas and had to come back in quarantine. So that'll be interesting to see. Is be a very American flavor tournaments, I think, for the first few weeks. But Colonial said, or not, they didn't say, but according to the reports, Colonial's going to be one of their best fields ever, with as far as world rankings go. So that'll be interesting. But it should be interesting weekend of golf, and we'll be back with you here on the Coalition Radio Network next week with Pat Ford, if hopefully everything's okay with him, and then we'll have some announcements coming in the future about our own show. And like I said, once that launches, we'll have guests. We'll get you pros. We'll give you tips. Well, we won't give you tips. The pros will give you tips, and then we'll have all kinds of things going on. You don't want tips from us. I mean, not golf tips anyway. So
absolutely
that's
not.
for sure.
I can teach you how to drink after the round. That's about it.
Yeah. So and even that is a disaster sometimes. So we'll be back. We'll be back with you next week. Thanks to Pat for letting us do this and letting us give this a shot. And again, we'll have our own show coming up in a couple of weeks. So, Rich, I don't know if you have any last thoughts, any last weekend thoughts for people to go into the big golf weekend, hit them straight. That's
about it. Yeah,
hit
him straight.
Are you betting on the match real quick? I think Tiger and Peyton are favored. I think they're -2. Was it 220 today? I think they're -220. So, I don't know if you put any money down.
Check the old sportsbook app and see what the numbers are. I may take some prop bets too.
Yeah, there's a few.
I'll have to figure that out. I really haven't looked at anything yet.
So next week we'll let you know how much money Rich wins or loses. He's our resident sports gambler, so we'll defer to him on all the things concerning gambling in the game of golf. But anyway, we had fun tonight. It was a good start. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll be back with fresh content on the site tomorrow and all through the weekend. And like I said, we'll have you covered right through the Champions for Charity event on Golf News RI. Thanks everyone for the support early on through our first month or so, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks for your support, guys.